What's up? Welcome back for more Honkai Impact 3rd. Okay, today we're gonna go do Teriri's Magical Quest Part 2. And I did the dailies just yesterday and it's gonna be disappointing if I just use it and not do any stuff. And what the heck is this? It's a cat. Oh. Alright, let's just jump right to it. Rita. An apple washed clean. How big should each slice be? Lilia just had lunch, so let's cut it into 8 slices. Next, a slice from the left, 1 slice from the right, and What? Why? Rosalia, what are you doing? Lilia, you're awake? Come take a look. I've succeeded. This is a magic trick that turns apples into bunnies. I practiced this for a long time. I wanted to bring them to you after I was done, but they turned into an ugly color shortly after. I'm sure you won't want to eat them. But it's alright. I've really mastered it. No matter how many you want to eat, I'll slice them for you. Thank you. Hehe. More importantly, you should eat them all while they're still pretty. This way, you can recover quickly and fight alongside me. After all, with you, Sorry. You don't have to apologize for this, because as long as you dip the apple slice into cold salt water. Okay, so this is the part that it's really depressing, since if you watch me play the Bubble Universe of Delta, where Rosalia and Lilia merge into one, just like you're seeing right now, and there's a part of subconscious on her tail that it's part of Lilia, and look at that, it's the sword of Lilia. Great sword of Lilia. And yeah, she's reminiscing of the past. Okay, let's just continue. They won't oxidize into a brown color anymore. Huh? The girl felt like a voice she cherished had escaped from her dream. To retain that momentary sensation, she struggled between sleep and reality. Apple. But her consciousness grew stronger and she felt more and more awake. She still felt that something was wrong. Wait, this voice is... You'll get nightmares if you don't cover yourself properly with a blanket. Oh damn! I mean, I like Delta too, but not that way, you fox. I like her character and her character development on her, but I still want those funny and outgoing twin sisters. Delta has become more like a mission type and violent type of the vodka girls. Okay. Her beautiful illusions receded like a tide. Instead, Delta saw the person she wanted to see the least before her eyes. She subconsciously tried to recall when she had fallen asleep, and whether that dream had caused her to talk in her sleep. But seeing how Rita began to smile more, she felt nervous. You're too close. That expression, hehe. Are you still sleepy and mistook me for someone else, Miss Delta? Miss Delta, I thought that we had already become partners after spending these few days together. Shut up. Get away from me. A rather cold response. When did this woman get so close to me? I was too careless. Miss Delta, you look exhausted. Why not rest a little more? Don't worry, I'll stay by your side. Although Rita seemed very sincere, Delta did not want such humiliating kindness. She blinked impatiently and refused quickly. That's unnecessary. I'll keep my guard up at all times. Delta rubbed her temples and stood up from the soft sofa. The light of dusk peeked in through the windows. She slept for such a long time. This was an abandoned bar in Lone Star City, one of the few architectures that was decently preserved among the ruins. 6 hours ago, everyone decided to rest here. And so, Bronnen checked the electrical circuits and restarted the lights and ventilation fans. The small bar looked acceptable after Rita cleaned it up. Delta, do you want a drink to wake yourself with? Teriri was sitting by the bar counter, drinking juice, and Bronny was standing behind the counter, shaking a cocktail shaker. The pink-haired ninja was holding a cup and sitting on the window ledge. Why didn't she wake her up? Don't underestimate this bar. It may be shoddy, but the tools are all intact. Hey, what do you want to drink? Then, I remember that you were going on about apples in your sleep. Forget it. I don't want anything. Bronny gave Delta a knowing smile, opened the cocktail shaker in her hands, and poured a honey-colored liquid into an antique glass cup. Miss Rosemary, if you please. Rita swirled her wine glass slightly, although it was no longer clear due to its age. It still reflected a bright ray of light from the setting sun. Well, I don't know about other drinks because I'm not a alcoholic expert, but I do know when wine or other drinks age, it becomes better. But I don't know about other alcohols like San Miglite, Red Horse, or other. But I don't know wine, if they age, they taste more. They will taste better if they age, just like that. The tart taste of orange along with the rich flavor of honey. You're great at this. Of course. Oh yeah, from the bubble universe that she was in, she's a bartender too. As expected of a waitress from Raven's Diner. Waitress? That's right. Although her service attitude could do better, but Miss Bronny is great at mixing drinks. You don't have to reminisce that for me. Nobody will be interested in stories of the past. She did not forget the recipes, and mixing drinks had become muscle memory. But those times were too long ago, and they radiated with warmth in her memories. Is mixing drinks similar to making potions? Amazing. Similar, I guess. Here's your drink, non-alcoholic. It's delicious. The best drink I ever had. So Delta, don't want any? Just a cup of cherry juice is enough. Oh my, so quickly. Seems like a temporary way to lure the tiger out of the mountains. Is that a magical creature too? Darn, sounds so unrealistic. What a pity. Even though we finally found a comfortable place, Miss Delta still needs a nap. I'm not sleepy at all now. Delta placed a glass of cherry juice she had sipped down and leaned on her greatsword to stand up. A soft hand covered the back of her. Let me do it this time. We can't let this person disrupt our leisurely afternoon tea. Oh. The Witchy Rita can wear down HP as bonus damage with strength and magic skills. Her healing skill and Ultra Gem can deal true damage while healing. Oh. Recover HP at 150 healing strength. Recover SP at 200 charging strength. Lose 10. Lose 10. Recover HP. Fix it back. Well, let's see. When Rita's HP fall below 50%, she will upgrade basic healing gem into Rosemary healing and heal 50% more effectively. Oh! So I should lower down my HP then. After leaving the bar, everyone moved according to their plan route. Stepping deeper into the forest of Lone Star City for the first time, they did not feel that it was a place that the Magic Security Bureau needed to be so wary about. I thought that the borders of where civilians aren't allowed to enter should be fortified. Indeed, it looks more like an abandoned city here. Well, if it's abandoned, there's no point to guard it, right? Rita took a deep breath as if taking in the breath of the past from this land. Although most places were already destroyed beyond salvation, traces of human presence had fully disappeared only a few years ago. Yeah, after all, this place was abandoned by everyone. See? Abandoned? Would common civilian abandon their residence so easily? It was originally as peaceful as Crescent Moon City, but its history went back much longer. It existed before the Magic Security Bureau was founded. No wonder the buildings here are simpler. Sounds like it was an amazing ancient city. Yeah, that's why I went to research about it in the Lavinia Library. That library has the most complete collection of books. But one day, the awakened Dark Lord harassed and destroyed various lands with its claw and fangs. Even cities with magic curse protection. Honkai Impact Team, you misspelled here again. Were not spared. After some consideration, the Magic Security Bureau decided to use Lone Star City, the place closest to the Dark Lord's courtyard, as a delay tactic, or rather, the first line of defense against the Dark Lord's invasion. At the cost of sacrificing its residents, Teriri didn't know how to explain the cruelty of that cause. She could only phrase herself vaguely. Everyone suffered unimaginable pain as a result. Just recalling about it makes me so sad. So to seek refuge and to escape after the battle, the surviving residents suggested the idea of moving to Crescent Moon City to the Magic Security Bureau. Such a cruel and incompetent method. Don't tell me. ... Kasumi excluded herself from the conversation as usual, and her thoughts were placed elsewhere. Everyone's voices sounded soft and distant to her, like a scrap of paper fluttering in the wind. Because the story about the past had awoken her memories about a certain friend. That friend forcibly gave her life, yet coldly left her alone. It's Kallen. Back then, she also did something similar. But I can't protect Sakura, nor you, even with the borrowed 500 years. I can only end it in the dumbest way. Without power, justice only invites despair, and the kindness of leaving no one behind is but weakness in disguise. I'm just a mortal who is slightly stronger than average, and I'm now taking my last breath to protect my place. I can't even stop the wailing close at hand. How can I reach out to the people in need far, far away? The residents thought that they had abandoned their homeland. In reality, it was the Magic Security Bureau that forced them to make that decision. In a way, it's more similar to that man who taught me how to live, yet never look at me. Wait. I don't know if that's Ferryman or Kallen. I forgot. That's a long ago. But I'll try to find it, and while I'm reading it, I'll just post it here. Or if I can't find it, I'm just gonna continue on to the story. From the start till the end, all he cared about was a person's life and death. He never cared about how a whim of his could change others, or even the world. Kasumi had recalled all her experience countless times, but only one thing was clear. If it was not for this man using her friend to extend help, she wouldn't be able to live in this world as she is now. As this thought, Kasumi smiled bitterly. Although she claimed to have made a similar choice, but she sincerely felt sorry for it, and for me, to the extent that she felt tormented by it. This memory that had been sealed deliberately was likely a physical injury for Kasumi. It could heal with time, but it would never return back to what it once was. Whenever she remembers the shock when she found out the truth, and the emptiness when she couldn't find a trace of her friend, her usual composure would crumble. Her ears twitched in annoyance as she tried to free herself from those frustrating thoughts. Until... Kasumi, did you find anything new? A familiar voice rang next to her ear and pulled her out of the shadows of her past. Before she realized, this ally's voice surprisingly began to comfort her. Perhaps it was a synchrony developed from frequent mission collaborations, or because they saw a similar loneliness in each other's eyes, or perhaps this was one-sided. Regardless, Kasumi did not hate this feeling. No, I was just thinking, even though Lone Star City isn't an enemy base, we still have to keep our guard up. The Magic Security Bureau may have executed this plan because it didn't have the ability to resist the Dark Lord. If the Dark Lord is that strong, we can't underestimate the magical creatures left behind here either. ... You're right, that's a reasonable deduction. Fine. We just saw how it was tattered with injuries, but our ninja here can deduce so much more from it. Looks like your experience in battle. ... Kasumi did not respond to Brone's taunts, and Delta did not rebut as she usually did. Because what Lone Star City encountered also reminded Delta of a memory she kept deep within her heart before she started feeling upset. She spoke to break the mysteriously sentimental atmosphere. Hey, let's make haste. Oh, okay. Now we can level them up. Yes. But Rita will be more sufficient in this mission. So let's upgrade her and go transmute. Okay, I need to play the other thing. Do I get gems from this? Yeah, I do. And I'm not playing it. Oh my god, I'm throwing. Okay, I'll do it late. Oh, okay. Let me just go finish this up. Hi. The magical creatures in Lone Star City are really different from those in Crescent Moon District. How so? The small stone golems and boulder guardians in Crescent Moon District are aggressive merely because they are playful, or when they want to chase intruders away. But the magical creatures we meet now here are... Rita seemed to be looking for a more gentle word to describe those monsters' rude and graceless attacks. Actually, a small number of the magical creatures in Lone Star City used to be the Dark Lord's underlings years ago, and it makes sense that they are more difficult to handle. I may not have experience in real battles, but I memorized the strategies in Dangerous Magical Creatures Encyclopedia from cover to cover. Hehe, looks like we have to rely on our requestor sometimes too. Oh, there's some movement ahead. Here's our chance. Great, then let's try Miss Teriri's strategies. Okay, what's new? Never mind. There's none. What the? Cannot move or fall. Deals 500 enemies attack of damage to friendly units when the countdown ends. Match gem 3 times within the 4 adjacent tile. What the? Oh, it has health. So this. Okay. So we can use against it against them, or it will be a time bomb to us. I get it. Teriri, that round structure of the roof of that hollow projection, is that a Levinian library? There's a book symbol next to the structure, so it should be the library. Miss Teriri, what's wrong? I'm fine. I'm just trying to recognize it. I haven't been here in a long time. It feels very foreign. Let me take a closer look. Teriri widened her eyes and scanned the hollow projection of the building up and down. The symbol in front of the door doesn't look like that of Lavinia's libraries. Then is it the building that looks like a villa behind the crossroad? No, the library might not be in this district. I remember the way to the library. I think it's in this direction and 2 roads away. Is that so? But calm down. Let me scout the route. Huh? Scout the route? I'll look for a building that looks more like the Lavinia Library. Huh? Kasame leaped high and moved agilely into the distance. Her silhouette fell between the buildings far away and disappeared quickly. Kasame thought about how Tereri looked just now. Even though they were close at her destination, she didn't look at the least bit happy. ... A crisp snapping sound jolted Kasumi out of her thoughts. She saw Delta carrying her greatsword and running along with her. Leaving abruptly will make Brownie more suspicious of you. Her fox ears turned back and forth. Kasumi stopped only after making sure that it was safe. I didn't expect to meet that hacker again. Oh, so you two have met before. At that time, we met because we were fighting over it. Looks like she knows our motive. Delta rubbed her temples in exasperation, and she was at the brink of losing her patience. On this topic, this mission only required me. Why did you come along without an invitation? After you left, I got 2 important information. Fish. Can't you say everything all at once? How troublesome. I've defeated countless Dark Lords, so let's get this over and done with. It'd be much better than playing along with that little girl. Oh, I guess it's not the first time we've had to play along with her. I don't have doubts about your strength, but strength is not the only factor that affects victory and defeat, as that honorable person once said. In this case, a detour could be the nearest way home. Don't use that person's words against me. Without the girl's clues, we wouldn't know where it is, and without her magic, it'd be difficult to physically fight against the Dark Lord in this bubble universe ourselves. Then we won't be able to get it. What it? ... Let's trust in that person's judgment. Okay. Delta turned her head away. But, speaking of detours, yes, I came to check on this. Did you realize something wrong too? You're not the only one who looks at information that person provides. Did you find anything? Lavinia Library is undoubtedly a building with a round roof. I'm more curious where the road Tereri pointed to leads to. The two look in that direction and the road Ahead looked more and more desolate. Since she's the one who decides the destination, and we're only doing this for money, why would she need to lie? Tereri's sad and hesitant expression appeared in Kasumi's head. Kasumi felt like she couldn't see through that seemingly outgoing girl. I suppose not all is in vain. If I get to see that expression of yours. ... It's about time we head back. Let's pretend to have some fights around here. The other two aren't easy to deceive. I.O. randomly changes 3 basic gems to skill gems. Oh. Crumbling facilities and dilapidated buildings, they mark the hustle and bustle of the past. But now, they showed lonely solitude. There's someone at our 2 o'clock. Who'd come to such a place? Regardless, it's best to be cautious. I'll give you 3 seconds to come out. If not, I'll fire. The drone signal light lit up, and red lines shot out of its head toward a ruined wall. Oh, what are you doing, you insolent fools? It's Herschel Floyd. An unfamiliar white-haired girl covered her eyes from the building red light as she leaned against the wall. She walked over furiously. You have to apologize to me for your impudence. Huh? Tereri? Sirin! Tereri hurriedly squeezed in front of the 4 girls protecting her and pushed the girl named Sirin. Sirin, it's too dangerous here. You must return to Crescent Moon District now. Dangerous? Oh, I thought that you lot didn't know that. Oh, of course we do. That's why we chose to travel together. Travel together? To seek some thrills? Delta, who had been observing from the side for a while, decided that it was the right opportunity to ascertain her conjecture. This lady here, we haven't reached the Lavinia Library. If we were to turn back now, what would we do for Tereri's graduation thesis? Graduation thesis? What are you talking about? Tereri has already graduated. I speak the truth. Look, it's written clearly on the commission listing. Sirin, you can go back first. I'm not. I'm really not. Tereri's voice got softer and softer, until it was merely a murmur. She could not even convince herself with her words of rebuttal. Tereri, you didn't forget what happened here, did you? Back then, they simply stepped into the courtyard and had to pay a hefty price. Are you going to follow in their footsteps? I didn't forget, and I won't step on the same path. If that clever mind of yours is still awake, you should live your best life instead of always rushing into danger, so as to not let their efforts down. I came back precisely because I'm awake. It's been so many years, but you're still foolish beyond salvation. But, Sirin, you're the same, aren't you? Huh? Why else would you be here? You were so sure that the Dark Lord no longer exists, but you broke through the Boulder's Guardian's defense and came here alone. I just wanted to ascertain something for myself. Then why do you stop me all the time? You're the one who understands me best. We shouldn't be the only ones who get to enjoy that kind of peaceful life. You haven't given up on that ridiculous idea? Sirin, we already lost a senpai, but we might be able to save the other one. You said that we should look forward, that everything is in the past now. But everything I look forward, I think, if things pass just like this, then does her future really end here? Have you ever thought of what would happen to you if you failed? If I contemplated about the results, I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to persevere. I don't know. I only know that. This is the only thing I want to do now. You idiot. Sirin bit her lower lip in anger. Tereri's stubborn expression reminded her of another heavy memory. She knew well that even if she could stop Tereri this time, she would make the same decision again in the future. ... As things are now, there's no need for us to waste each other's time. I'll only tell you this. The Dark Lord has truly disappeared. I confirm this, and I'm not trying to patronize you. Huh? Is that true? Don't get ahead of yourself yet. We might not be able to infiltrate the site of Nightmare and enter the Dark Lord's courtyard just because the Dark Lord isn't around anymore. What? Why? You can use that secret passage, right? Yeah. The last time I passed by it, I constantly heard dogs barking. What a racket. So annoying. Dogs barking near the site of Nightmare. Could it be the three-headed dog, Cerberus? Ooh, Sirin, thanks for the hint. Heh, I didn't say anything. Why do you think that I'm helping you? What if I'm just taking you on a wild goose chase? You wouldn't do that. ... Who knows? Noticing that she had stayed for too long and unwilling to mix with these people anymore, Sirin decided to end this unpleasant conversation. Tereri, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Don't sacrifice your life for this. With that statement, she turned and left. Sirin, wait! The white-haired girl quickly disappeared into ruins and withered trees, and Tereri was still thinking about the conversation earlier. Her instincts made her chase after Sirin and neglect the dangers in the forest. Watch out! Kasumi blocked the magical creature that leaped toward Tereri and swung a blinding electric arc at it. When it comes to ambushes, even underlings of the Dark Lord are no match for me. God damn it. At the start and when casting skills, Kasumi gained Ninja Mark for 3 turns. If not continuously stacked, it will be reset. The secret way of ninja is to continuously cast skills. Don't worry, charging skills and ultra gems can spawn skills gems quickly. Strength and magic skills will also deal increased damage based on the number of ninja mark stacks. Isn't that amazing? Let's see. Are you going to remain silent? Hey, don't scare her. As our employer, she needs to tell us the truth. And your little drones also required accurate information to be useful. I'll have you know that someone who can only fight will never match up with my trackers. Everyone, please calm down. Miss Tereri, please listen to me. We don't have the right to interfere with your personal issue with Miss Sirin, but the truth of this commission affects the execution of this mission. Please don't overthink. After all, from the moment we accepted this commission, we must follow you until this mission is complete. Of course, if you aren't satisfied with how we do things, we can leave as well. But if you aren't willing to tell us the truth, we can't help you even if we wanted to. ... Actually, I'm not doing this for a graduation thesis, and I don't actually want to go to Lavinia Library. I published this commission solely to save someone. She is in eternal slumber in the Dark Lord's castle now. To awaken her, I asked many people and studied many books, and I finally found out about a treasure that can awaken her in an ancient book. It's called Miracle Stone. So you mean, the treasure you're looking for and the person you wish to save are both in the Dark Lord's castle now? I'm really sorry for hiding this from everyone. It's good enough that you guys have escorted me out of Crescent Moon District. I can complete the rest of the journey myself. No. As for the 4 shares of reward, they should be transferred to your bank accounts tomorrow. Ha! Looks like Sirin was right. Teriri is a big fool indeed. Huh? You said it yourself. Meeting you is the only luck I've had lately. In that case, why are you throwing away the luck that was so hard to come by? That's right. After all, we don't understand anything about your graduation thesis, nor do we care about that miracle stone. In comparison, I'm more concerned about that three-headed dog. Hehe, then, shall we see whether your drones or my greatsword can defeat it then it first? Just what I wanted. Before the two of them could start arguing, Tereri stretched out both arms, one toward the left and another toward the right to stop Delta and Bronny. The two girls paused and in a rarely seen unison, held Tereri's warm hands. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. You're welcome. Everyone is only here because of my commission. Mr. Tereri, your new commission is a piece of cake for us all. After all, everyone in this world is working for their own motives. Oh, she knows. Can't we just get rid of it here and now? We probably can't. It says in the Dangerous Magical Creatures Encyclopedia that the magic key Cerberus guards is only visible when it is alive. This is the first time I've ever heard of a dog having a symbiotic relationship with the door it guards. In that case, regardless what the plan may be, we cannot get into direct conflict with it. But the last time I saw it, it already had a bad temper. We can just beat it up if it has a bad temper. If you can guarantee that nobody here would be provoked while doing that and accidentally kill it, it's a good idea. Just to be safe, we should foster a good relationship with it. Kasumi, who was walking at the back of the group, remained silent. Cerberus. The beasts in this Babel universe are so unique. If I'm not wrong, each of Cerberus' head defends attacks from one direction. Even if we manage to steal the key around its neck, to sneak behind its huge body and enter that narrow secret passage would be difficult. If only we could lure it away completely. As she could not think further, she began to search for relevant memories. Canines. You know what sets your day in a good mood? Fried tofu. You know what makes the best post-nap dessert? Fried tofu. You know what the best way to enjoy a beautiful sunny day is? Fried tofu. Suddenly, Kasumi remembered its original appearance. Before it was named, it had fostered a relationship with her. Today, that relationship has transformed into an inseparable bond that presents its true form when she needed it most. Regokumaru. No, perhaps you prefer the name Higokumaru. After all, you came up with that name yourself. I'm sorry, I've never treated you like a beast. But, after a moment of hesitation, Kasumi joined the discussion. The Cerberus. It probably has something it likes to eat, right? Probably, but I don't know what it is, specifically. According to the Dangerous Magical Creatures Encyclopedia, his hobbies are stealing the Dark Lord's sleepers. and reimagining through the trash bin at the back door of the courtyard. After the Dark Lord died, the beloved Cerberus still upholds its responsibilities of their contract and wanders between the site of Nightmare and Lone Star City now. After a while, nobody knows what it likes to eat. I see. Thus far, it seems to have the same habits as its own kind. We might be able to gain its trust if we feed it with food it likes. Indeed, then we'll be able to get the key if it's guarding. Sounds like we have a pretty good idea, but this big fellow, as they got closer to the gigantic beast, they could clearly see the dog fur dancing in the air, and its slobbering, nasty saliva. Just as Teriri had said, the Dark Lord's beloved dog no longer lived a life of luxury as it did in the past. Looks like Cerberus needs more than a good meal. It needs a full course of cleaning and grooming too. It's hard to imagine how we have to get along peacefully with a dog like this. It's a stray dog right now. I agree. I don't even want to touch it. As if it understands the discussion, Cerberus scratched its neck with its back paw in annoyance. Then it shook its head aggressively. Its three big heads were like drills that activated simultaneously, shedding dog fur all over. After it saw Brony cover her nose, it deliberately got into a defensive stance, three heads each looking into a different direction to form a seamless defense. Oh, are you intimidated? Foolish humans. Let me try. Kasumi stood in front of everyone and opened her bag of food. Looking at the various packaging, she felt indecisive. How about this one? Miss Kasumi, if a dog eats chocolate, I'm afraid it'll... Sorry then. I'm clueless about dogs' diets. It's too late to ask that honorable person anymore. Although not all dogs are like Raigokumaru. But... Cerberus, look at this. Kasumi softened her voice and tossed a few pieces of fried tofu at the big three-headed dog. Cerberus immediately turned its attention over but kept its guard up. The three heads took turns sniffing the fried tofu. Oof! What is this? This head looks curious. Woof woof. I don't know, but it smells good. It looks very satisfied. ... As expected, they've come down. I'll get the key now. No, Kasumi, wait! Woof 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 woof. That human easily took out something so delicious. Ooh, and we can only starve. Darn it. Starve. Starve. Darn it. How did this happen? Those three heads look angry. Teriri, give me your hand. The rest of you, scatter! Right as she spoke, the huge dog growled furiously and pounced at all of them. But thanks to Brony's reminder, all of them dodged in different directions. But this reminder coincidentally allowed her to realize something. Where are they? Pink Fox, how are you look down on me? Run! Run! The three heads look in different directions, proving that they can actually think independently. Considering that, and with each of our abilities, we can throw them off and confuse them. Then, we'll find an opportunity. Everyone, let's go! Okay, I find it funny when the dog is the... it's very funny. It's funny, very funny looking. It's like a Pochi. What is this? I remove to answer yes. Are there 3 pairs of long ears in the task squad? Oh wait, what? Are there 3 pairs of long 3 ears in the task? Remove match 3 them cannot be removed by Kasumi Ultimate. Oh, obstacle. Remove to answer yes to the question. Are there 3 pairs long ears in the task squad? There's only Ah, yes, because we have Tereri, Kasumi, and Bronny because it's a hoodie or something. Okay, we won. Oh my god. You guys are so embarrassing. Delicious. I almost caught them. Delicious. Delicious. Where's the key? The key is gone. Chase after them. Wait, let me take one more bite. Dot. They already entered the ruins. Mystery, what are you writing? I'm recording our discovery just now. I never knew that Cerberus has this side to it. Yeah, but we only managed to find out because of the ninja's daring attempt. Thanks. Huh? Don't show an expression of disbelief. You help everyone and I'm not someone who sees other dichotomously. I don't know. Sorry, I misunderstood you. In that case, when it comes to distracting them, Miss Browning contributed a lot too. I should also say thank you. What are the two of you playing at? As long as we acknowledge it in our hearts, there's no need to say it out loud. Right? Oh, so our dear Delta is shy? Dot. Think of it as you will. Hehe. Anyway, we managed to deal with Cerberus and we're one step closer to the commission's destination. Let's continue forward. Dot. The magical creatures in the tunnel were capable of seeing clearly in the dark, as they have adapted to their habitat. Yet, they could sense how dangerous these intruders were simply from their comrades' howls. Most of them desperately escaped from the secret passage, and the remaining fearless ones fell to a great sword and gunfire. And after a while, we're finally here! There were so many monsters in the secret passage, but there's nothing here in the sight of nightmare. Maybe the Dark Lord is taking a nap? I don't hear any snoring. It's better this way. Without the Dark Lord, we can finish our mission quickly. Dot. You seem more and more confused, Kasumi. That's not important. You know that I always complete my missions. Hey, what are you two mumbling about? Hurry up! Everyone stood outside the deathly walls and evaluated the Dark Lord's castle. But Tereri slowly walked up to the metal gate that were covered in withered vines. Tereri, don't stray too far from us. Dot. She didn't listen and continued to stare at the metal gates. Dot. Kasumi and Delta looked at each other. Open the gates, Tereri. Please be careful. We're still not sure about what's inside the castle. Ah, alright. Thick chains were coiled between the rusty metal gates. Under the moonlight, those chains reflected the bright light, as if they had just been wrapped around these gates yesterday. From what Sirin said, I thought that there'd be no sign of life here. Newly changed chains? Just slash it apart. No, this is a highly advanced warding spell. These chains have been here for many years. Tere took out a few vibrant colored bottles from her bag and dabbed a small amount of powder with her finger before smearing it onto the chains. In no time, bumpy marks appeared on the smooth surface of the chains, and reddish-brown rust quickly appeared on them. Huh? The chains seem to have aged a lot. Although I can break these chains with my magic, the Magic Security Bureau will realize that too. So I can only use this potion that accelerates decomposition to weaken the effect of the warding spell. So, we can chop them off now? It may be tougher than ordinary metal chains, but you can definitely cut them apart. Alright, all of you, back away! 1, 2, this should be... The chains fell to the floor. Phew! These chains are pretty tough. They held up against 2 of my hits. Delta really says the most amazing things with the most nonchalant expression. You're pretty good yourself, Tereri, but I'm still far behind all of you. Ahem, sorry to interrupt. The hinges are heavily rusted and I can't push the gates open alone. Let's do it together. What a castle! The metal gates made a long screech as everyone pushed it open. But this did not alert any magical creature in the castle. It's too quiet here. Doesn't seem like there's any magical creatures around. Yeah, after all, the Dark Lord doesn't exist anymore. Who knows? We should remain wary, just in case. While 3 of them were busy exploring, the other 2 deliberately distanced themselves slightly. Phew, we're finally here. Delta stretched as she spoke. Are you that exhausted? My patience is what's exhausted. Kasumi, don't ask rhetorical questions. Indeed, before other retrieval missions, the straightforward Delta would always look as confident as she did now. This was something Kasumi was sure about. She's right. Our mission is finally ending. What's the mission? Come on, tell us! Okay, I think that's about it. I didn't miss anything, right? Because in part 1, it has this one, like question mark, question mark. I thought it's gonna have I thought it's gonna have a question mark too, but I believe it didn't. Well, anyways, I'm gonna look at Wikipedia. I'm gonna look at the internet of. No. I'm gonna look back on my recordings from previous videos like Kasumi's Bubble Universe and see where I can find those quotes. Let's see if I can find them, if I'm not lazy. And from what I know, that it is something that is related to the Bubble Universe of Brony. That's what I'm getting at. But I don't know. Let's just see in the next part. I do wish that there's no cliffhangers in the next story, because there's a lot, especially the other characters, like reminiscing the past, except for Rita. The other 3 has a reminiscing of their past, and it's quite a lot, but there are 3. From part 2, we only have 1 cutscene, and it was Delta sleeping, and we have 3 to unlock. Well, with that said, guys, thank you for watching. Leave a like if you liked the video, and I will see you to the next video of Honkai Impacted. Johnny!